Hello and welcome to Is This Enough, the really brilliant game show that is brilliant and excellent. We hope you will play along with the rounds whilst you listen, and you can send in your scores and the answers to the audience round to isthisenoughpodcasting@gmail.com. You can also follow the Is This Enough pod on Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Please also leave us a like and a review on your chosen podcast app. A very mild warning for this episode: we had an hour of tech trouble before pressing record, so if we sound a bit pissy, it's because we were. With that in mind, please enjoy episode 5 of Is This Enough? Is This Enough? With James O'Donoghue and David Hoare.
I should look after my voice.
Yeah, I have added several bits of shouting to my set, and I walked between one gig to another, talking to another comedian we know, and talking about how much I yelled. And then when I arrived, I had a Jakeman's lozenge to make sure that I saved my throat. So I need to stop yelling in my set. But yelling is so much fun, and it really gets the point across.
It's good fun. It's really good fun. Or find a way to yell safely.
That is what I said I should do. I should look it up, but I haven't done that yet. And I just keep on writing more bits where I'm like yelling.
A good thing to do is to make sure that your feet are parallel and hip width apart.
Am I going to have to use my butt funnel?
Yeah, I'm terribly sorry, David, but it's butt funnel time. Yeah, if you have your feet hip width apart, facing forward, and kind of lean. It sounds weird, but lean slightly more forward than you would think is normal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because if you are on the balls of your feet as opposed to your heels, then your soft palate raises a bit, and that makes sound flow easier.
Great. I might need you to write that all down for me. Also, it turns out the feet have balls. Welcome to Is This Enough, episode 5, or episode 5 if you're German or if you know German. It's the really brilliant game show that is also not only brilliant, but also excellent. It's an exciting quiz where we've made up 4 rounds for each other, and we don't know what the other person has made up for the other person. I am with the always wonderful James O'Donoghue. James, how have you got on with last week's prize?
David.
Or forfeit? Did I win or did you win?
You won. You won, David. You won a go on the big red nuclear button. And you seem to have had such a good time. It's passed through your consciousness easily like a newborn calf that you press the button. Liechtenstein? That's gone. Oh no, it was Luxembourg.
You suggested I aim it at Luxembourg,
gone.
but I don't want to incite anything, but Liechtenstein is the worst country I've ever been to. The only interesting thing I saw in Liechtenstein, apart from a statue of 2 naked men with massive dongs standing on the table of elements, was a vending machine that sold, I think, 8 different types of smoked sausage, like different variations of smoked sausage.
David, why were you in Liechtenstein?
We were travelling home from Switzerland to France in the car, and one of the people we were with was trying to get to as many countries as possible in their life, and they were like, I can tick off Liechtenstein. So we had dinner in Liechtenstein, and it was rubbish.
What's a typical Liechtenstein dish?
Well, smoked sausage that hopefully isn't from the dong statue. So, anyway, how did you get on with the guild?
The guilt of knowing that country's gone now. David, This is fresh off the bat of me eating my dinner upside down for a week. And let me tell you, last week my face was sore because of all the sauce that was falling on it. This week my face is sore because of all the tears that were falling on it. Either way,
did you cry
David,
upside down as well, or was it? Did you cry the right way
well,
up?
yeah, because you know who I reckon cries upside down. I reckon Claudia Winkleman cries upside down. This is the most animated I've been today. Claudia Winkleman cries upside down. Her eyes are upside down. They're upside down.
So she has upside down eyes.
Yeah.
Does she have
You know
like a
the,
gravity
the-
field, or does she, if she thinks she's going to have a bit of a weep, she gets on like a like one of them fairground rides that tips you upside down?
Her fringe is so severe because it's actually covering a flux capacitor.
We've got 4 exciting rounds for you today. We don't know.
4 rounds? Oh boy!
We don't know what the other one has planned for us. We've got an audience round at the end. Please let us know your score. And please send your answers to the audience round. You could win a painting done by the only James O'Donoghue I know. Please send your answers.
I'm not the only James O'Donoghue I know.
That sounds sinister.
And he's here now. No.
Did you know if you Google David Hoare, all the David Hoares that are more famous than me are all like criminals?
Wasn't there another David Hoare that's for a different... That's for a not recorded podcast.
I'll bleep it out. But
or
he
as we
said
used to call
David Hoare was the and he said that the entire so
Oh, wow.
Anyway, we've got exciting prizes and forfeits coming up for you. Let's get on with round 1. Round 1. James, round 1 is called General No Way Ledge. It's for 30 points a question. No way did those people make the same things. Did the same person make these things? Do you understand the premise?
This was a stretch, David. David, are you yoga with Adrian? Because this is a stretch.
I'm yoga with Adrian Charles.
Oh no, I've just spilt a pint of water.
Pouring one out for Adrian Charles and his yoga channel. True or false? These were made by the same people. Number 1 was the Casualty and Holby City themes made by the same person.
Well, they're the same cinematic universe.
Mmm.
So this was why Marvel didn't faze me when it first was like, oh, we've got interactive. It's like, yeah, that's fine. Oh,
I've watched Holby and Casualty.
I've watched Holby and Casualty, and every now and then they'll do a special crossover episode, and sometimes there'll be someone from EastEnders, and you're like, well, now, I think I don't think they are. I think this is like a warm bath of aha, whereas I am interested in a cold shower of ooh.
You're wrong. They were both composed by the same person. You dingus.
I was trying to be too clever there. I was
What
really
have we
trying
learned?
something.
Never be too clever. James O'Donoghue, was the air fryer and the microwave designed by the same person?
That was a hell of an afternoon.
Have you used an air fryer? It's the most modern thing.
I have not. My dad bought an air fryer before they were air fryers. Before that was like a thing. He made it. He would make chips in it. And,
Did your dad invent the air fryer? And if so, did he also invent the microwave? That would help
My
you.
dad is Robert Oppenheimer. And welcome to his movie.
And he is become death. Do you think the air fryer and the microwave was made by the same person?
No, I doubt highly.
Correct. That is 30 points to you.
Hooray!
There is a significant time difference between the two. Question number 3. was the Rugrats theme and the music from Crash Bandicoot written by the same person?
Yes. 100%, yes.
Do you know who that person was?
Was it you?
Imagine the royalty.
Yes, no, they were. I've never been more certain of anything in my life.
Okay, it was Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo. He wrote Whip It. He wrote the
Get
Rugrats
fucked,
theme tune.
what?
He wrote Crash Bandicoot theme tunes for 1, 2, 3, and Crash Team Racing. He did most of the Wes Anderson scores. He wrote Everything Is Awesome for the Lego movie. He's a pretty cool guy. He's one of my main heroes. He's a good
This
guy.
guy doesn't miss.
Nothing but network television theme tunes.
This is all killer, no filler, with Kiri Pitchard McLean
And Rachel Fairburn, yes.
and Rachel Fairburn.
Also, you said Pitchard, not Pritchard, which is odd.
Oh, we can fix that in post.
Or it's all killer, no filler with the recently announced to be breaking up Sum 41. R.I.P. Sum 41.
More like
Some
less.
41-year-olds are sad about it. Question number 4. Were Toby Jugs and Big Jugs invented by the same person?
Yes, Toby Jones. Toby Jones made a big jug. He went, "This is for me." And then everyone went, "Where's Toby's jug?" And he kept going, "It's mine. Toby Jones." And that's why we call them Toby Jugs. And that's why we refer to breasts as big jugs, because they sometimes look like the head of Toby Jones. Sometimes.
There's a lot going on there. Mostly that you're wrong. But I was enjoying your working out until it got weird. But that's fine. I'm just going to let you stew in your weirdness. That's fine. Last one. Question number 5. Was pleasing a lady and completing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 invented by the same person?
I know what one I prefer.
Listening to Rage Against the Machine and grinding. On a lady.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that? I think it's like a Tumblr comment from Tumblr years where someone says like, oh no, it's like a Pornhub comment that went viral where it was like, female orgasms, is there any sound better than that? Other than Metallica, of course. Or like,
No,
maybe not Metallica.
I haven't seen that particular Pornhub comment.
I'm going to have to Google this. Enjoy my algorithms. Pornhub comment cringe. I mean...
This is live Googling where James, I presumably not with incognito mode on, has just Googled Pornhub comment cringe.
I mean, I'll be honest. Some of these are sad. I was really hoping for like, they're all like, whoa, these look like. There's one here that says, "This looks like my ex. I miss her." That's just absolutely wrecked me for the day.
James, I'm going to suggest as your co-host that you exit out of that window, and I will just move on.
Hold on, I'm in. Female orgasms. Cringe comment.
Oh no! How have we fallen apart this early?
I have absolutely fucked my algorithm here, David. So I couldn't find it. Maybe it never existed. I hope it did.
Hey James, was pleasing a lady and completing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 invented by the same person?
Nah.
It was, actually. It was invented by Graham, my mate in Year 9, who told me he invented both, so...
Whoa! You're friends with Graham in Year 9?
When we were both in Year 9.
Oh.
I don't tend to hang around with people in Year 9.
I hang around with people in year 9 is a fucking crazy way to tell people that you're a teacher.
I teach geography. Anyway, at the end of that round, James, you have scored a cool 60 points.
60 points! 9 more of them, and I'm in Funtown.
Round 2. Over to you, James.
Hello, David, and
Hi.
welcome to Big Questions. David, here are some big questions.
Hi.
Should we return to the gold standard?
Of
Gold standard.
the gold standard of gold. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's return to the gold standard. Why not? Let's go for it.
Correct. David, should we invest in electric vehicles or public transit?
Is that an either or yes?
That's an either or. Either we can invest in electric vehicles or public transit. David, which one should we do?
I want both. I guess public transit.
Yes. David,
How many points is
much...
these worth, by the way?
These are 2.2 points each. David, is there much hope for the continued existence of the United States of America, or are its internal contradictions heightening to the extent that it is untenable to imagine the Union lasting more than a few decades longer?
A few decades. Let's go with the latter one. Yeah, it's gonna.
Yes, correct. Well done. You are on 6.6 points at this point, David.
Woohoo.
Your last question for this round, the big questions. Big questions. Oh, mama. David, the biggest question of them all. Have you ever seen a badger?
Yeah.
Tell me about seeing the badger.
I saw a dead badger on the road. Does that count? I was driving back from Cirencester the other day.
You've never seen a live one?
I think I have, but that was just the last badger I saw was dead. So I've also seen the animals of Farthing Wood. Does that count?
What, socially? I've never seen a live badger, David.
Oh, and you'd like to? Is this why you brought up the question?
Yeah, because sometimes you forget that England has animals that aren't
true.
like...
Squirrels.
Yeah.
Or bin foxes.
Or some Labradors. And sometimes I'm just struck with the awe and wonder of nature. I saw some deer the other day, David.
Mm-hmm.
I went for a run through Clissold Park. I saw a deer and I saw some terrapins.
You saw some terrapins?
There are terrapins at Clissold Park, David. And let me tell you, they're snappy customers. I'm here all week.
And they didn't get done in the War on Terror pins by George Bush and Tony Blair.
I tell you what, that was a terraplane joke.
Terrible joke. I think we're firing on all cylinders today, James.
David, this is the cleanest one we've done. Cleanest? No. Well, no, it's not.
The fact that you're second-guessing yourself. We should tell the listener, we had an hour of technical issues before we started this stream. And I had I pressed record and I went, "You're going to have to cheer me up," is the exact sentence I said to James.
And I then told David things that would have made great intro filler. Really good, like, oh, here's the fun banter of the two friends. But because of an NDA, we've had to take that out.
Yes. Nigel Domino Obsession. What does NDA stand for?
Non-disclosure abscess. Please do not
nice.
tell anyone.
Dick O'Donoghue.
Whoa! So, David, at the end of that round, you've got every question right, and you're on 8.8 points.
Huzzah! Is this enough? James, I'd just like to establish this week's prizes and forfeit.
Yes, prizes.
Prizes. The winner of this week's quiz will win 1,000 free delivery pigeons. Hooray!
Oh, boy.
You can finally send your telegrams.
Finally.
Most of them are NDAs. The winner will win 1,000 free delivery pigeons. The loser will win 1,000 wasps.
Oh.
That's That's 1,000 to the exact amount.
That's the stakes are pretty high in this one.
It's very high. You could either be delivering messages and receiving low coups, or just hanging out with wasps.
When I lived in a flat in Bristol, we had a family of pigeons that lived in the roof.
I think I saw that family of pigeons.
They were a nuclear family of pigeons.
Do they also hate Liechtenstein?
Yes. A family of pigeons that coos together, stews together. When I cook them in a big old stew. So it's all to play for in a way, if you think about it.
This is the loosiest, goosiest one we've done.
Round 3.
Round 3 is called Kazoo No You Can't. This is for 200 points per question. I have performed some of the more famous film scores of the world on kazoo. And you just have to tell me which film they're from. Do you understand the premise?
Well, I understand, but I'm not happy about it.
Is there anything we can do to cheer you up before we start?
Could it be on a kazoo?
What, cheering you up on the kazoo?
Yeah.
Cheer up.
Ah, I'm delighted.
Question number 1. Which film is this from? Which film is that theme?
Oh, I've definitely seen that. It's quite kind of.
Would you like to hear it again?
Yes, please.
Okay, there you go. Any guesses?
I'm guessing it. My head's going the King's Speech. I don't think it's the King's Speech at all. But
well, now you've said it out loud, you don't need to think about the King's Speech.
There we go. We can never think about the King's Speech again. That won loads of Oscars. David, was that the Royal Tenenbaums?
No, it wasn't. Unfortunately for you, it was the Dam Busters.
Oh.
As I feel like I did very well there on the kazoo. I wonder if I've done better with question number 2. Which film is this from?
It's every film on Netflix, isn't it?
Can you be more specific?
Oh, no. So it's a Netflix original. Is it Glass Onions?
Is Glass Onions your final answer?
Yes, please.
No, unfortunately for you, that was every single Hans Zimmer film, including Driving Miss Daisy. Would you like a lift, Miss Daisy? There's an extract for you there. So
I thought that was the Netflix
currently
opening.
On no points off of this round. So maybe you could nil point indeed. Maybe, James, you will do better with your final song. Which film is this from? Which film is that a loving rendition of, performed on kazoo by David Hoare? That's right, me.
David Hoare.
Stands for kazoo.
Oh, could I hear it again,
Certainly.
Sugar David?
James is an actor and a keen fan of films. Can they guess which film that's from?
David, you do these every week,
Yeah.
and I never get them right at all. And these are my favourite. This is my favourite thing of this quiz, and it's also the thing that I'm worst at. I just want to say
Yeah.
I'm having a wank. David, is it? It's not the. No, it's not the Space Invaders theme. That would be dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
But it's close.
James is being very pensive this week.
David, is it? Oh, what could it be? What could it be? The answer's out there. It's in the air. Where? Where? Where?
Give me a film.
Is it Close Encounters of the Fifth Day?
Of the Close Encounters of the Fifth Day.
Yes.
Not the third kind. Is this the
No,
threequel?
the Fifth Day.
Oh, I'm sorry, James. That was, in fact, Schindler's List. Here's a full rendition. Schindler's List is a very big list of people he is going to save. Mr. Hitler's very bad, but Oskar Schindler will save the day. We all love Oskar Schindler, saving all the people. We all love Oskar Schindler, triumphant over evil.
Wow. Wow. That was something.
So next time you watch Schindler's List, you'll be kicking yourself.
Next time I hunker down for a cozy film night. Have I ever told you about the time that as part of my BA course we had to go to the theatre lots, and one of the things we all had to see in the theatre was a dance production that was 9/11 through the medium of interpretive dance.
What the fuck?
It went on for 3 hours. There was an interval. And it was 9/11 through the medium of interpretive dance. And I sat there in the first half going, very interesting. And I got to the interval and I thought, this is 9/11 through the medium of interpretive dance. Like it's like a bad Family Guy sketch.
Yeah, but you actually saw it in real life.
But I actually saw it. It must have gone through so many different... The person thought of it, turned to collaborators and went, are you interested in this? And they said yes. And they went and they saw Arts Council funding. They saw venues, performers,
And along the way, all these people said yes.
Along the way, none of them said out loud 9/11 through the medium of interpretive dance. Because I'm hoping if you said that out loud, you'd stop. And no, that was actually not the worst thing I ever saw in Aberystwyth Arts Centre.
Yikes. So at the end of that, James, you have 60 points.
60 points.
Is this enough?
want to try again? Hi, David and James. It's President Joe Biden. Just wanted to phone in and say I think what you two are doing is really disgraceful. And I think you should cut it out. It's bad. This is the thing about food, right? With James Acaster and David Acaster. No? Fuck. You guys are cool. Bye-bye. Or as we say at the White House, bye-bye, girl.
Round 4.
Two can play at that game. David, what is this film soundtrack? But it's a kazoo song. No. Haha, I've tricked you. I've done a trick on you. That was a fake crowd, you see. This next round is called Help, There's a Dick in My Ear. Here are some quotes from famous Richards. You need to tell me what Richard this quote is from. They're worth 22 points each, and I hope you enjoy your time. First one up for you, hot off the press. Ow, it's too hot. That's not the quote. Here's the quote. The quote is, shush, Judy, I'm talking now. What Richard said that?
Was it Richard
What
Madeley?
Richard could have... It was indeed. David, you've got yourself 22 points on that, you silly Billy.
The original Alan Partridge, Richard Madeley.
It's uncanny. It's uncanny. Joe.com did a video which was Richard Madeley being Alan Partridge, and that's made me ask, what is their remit? Are they a political thing? Are they an entertainment thing? What's going on here, Joe.com? Keep on chugging. Bye-bye.
Keep it light.
Keep it light. Keep it coherent. David, which dick is in your ear? People have got to know whether their president is a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got. Which Richard said that?
Is it Richard Nixon?
It was not Richard Tricky Dicky Nixon. It was actually Richard Madeley when he ran for class president and was found to be bugging the opposition.
The opposition being Judy.
The opposition being Judy.
Oh.
David.
Yeah.
What dick's in your ear here, boy? Hello, I'm Richard Gere. Which Richard said that?
What, just hello?
Hello, I'm Richard Gere. What Richard would have said that?
Was it Richard Madeley again?
It was indeed Richard Madeley. He called himself Richard Gere during a drug dealing period in the 1990s. Known to be the source of many a fun afternoon at ITV Studios. David, which Richard said this? Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous by drunken prophecies, libels and dreams, to set my brother Clarence and the king in deadly hate, the one against the other.
No, I'm trying to
Which
work
Richard
out
said that?
if it was Richard III or Richard Madeley. I'm going Madeley.
He's going Madeley? Oh, David. Of course not. That was, of course, Richard III, as written by William Shakespeare. A bit of pro-Tudor bloody propaganda, must be said. Quite anti-Plantagenet, that bloke. But then again, that was the general popular view of history at that point. Who's to say if King Richard III was a better or worse monarch than the others that he wrote more favourably about? Those opinions have been lost to history.
May I just say that this quiz is bullshit, Carrie?
David, who said this? You cannot kill me. I shall never die. I am the one true God. Fear me, for I have killed all hope. All hail the dark cosmos that I bring in my wake. Which Richard said that?
I'm trying to list of all the Richards I'm aware of that may have been quoted. So, but there's Dickie Bird, the cricket umpire. There's Richard E. Grant. There's also Richards A through D Grant.
That's very good, David.
There is Richard Attenborough. But I'm going with Richard Madeley.
It was, of course, Richard Madeley.
Yeah.
So at the end of that round, you've won yourself 66 points, which brings you to a total of 74.8 points. Ooh. There's all to play for.
Ooh, there is indeed all to play for.
Round 5.
James, it's now time for the very exciting round 5. How are you?
I'm all right, David. I am a little worse for wear today because last night I got home late, tried to cook, gave up, ordered pizza, drank 4 beers, and I am nearly 29. And turns out 28 is exactly the age where your body decides, can't do that anymore. So those of you listening at home, which is everyone other than me and David, I don't know why I needed to specify that at this point. Those of you listening at home, you might not know this, but recording this has taken way longer because every 5 minutes I'm off for a big poo. And David has filled it excellently. In fact, I've not done half of this quiz because I've been having a big old poo. And actually, you have been listening to David feeding me into an AI, into something known as Chat GPT. And GPT stands for General Technical Practitioner.
Not Chat JOD.
Oh, that would have been better, wouldn't it?
James isn't on form because he's done too many poos. He's pulled out all of his comedic ability.
I pooped out the comedy chops. I shouldn't have had them last comedy chops.
Oh, but other than that, are you okay, or are you just? Is it just mainly the poos?
Oh, David, I'm fine. I'm fine. My sweet summer child. I'm fine. I have started doing some dumb paintings. I put one of them on my Instagram, which you can see, which is horrific, but very good fun.
Hooray! Check that out. Make sure you look at all of our socials. Hooray! Well, for doing so many big poos, James, I'm going to give you 2 points.
2 points, more like. Hot diggity
2
shits.
points.
Is this enough?
My mum says I'm on my phone too much, but sitting on it feels nice.
Round 6.
David, how are you?
Hello, James. I am doing okay. I did lots of time in the car recently. I did a preview on Friday in Bristol, and then I came home and went to sleep, and then I did another preview in Brighton, so I had to drive to Bristol. Then I had to drive to Brighton in the pouring rain whilst the coronation was on. And I aquaplaned 7 times. Have you ever aquaplaned?
No, what the fuck is that?
James isn't able to legally drive yet. So if you imagine there's a big puddle of water on, say, the motorway, and you're going 70 miles an hour, and you hit that puddle, and you sort of lose control of the car as you're driving.
Oh, sick. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I'd done it
wanna do
once
that.
before, and it was pretty scary. And in one journey, I did it 7 times. So that was
Woo!
fun. And then after Brighton, I went I woke up in Brighton, came home, napped, and then drove to Cirencester and back in the same evening. So did like 5 hours driving on Sunday alone. So lots and lots of travel. The previews are going okay. I basically did half an hour of a show on Friday. Well, the first half an hour went fine, and the last 10 minutes I just sort of died on my hole and completely lost the audience. And then the second preview, I did better. Thanks to somewhat of a bit of help from lovely James here, because James...
Because I wrote the
listened to
show
me
for
whilst I
him.
drove. It's a lot more about shitting yourself this time. No.
Yeah.
So I rang James whilst I was driving because I didn't have time to rewrite the end of the show. So I just rang James and a friend of the show, Alistair Wallace, individually and just discussed what I was trying to say over the phone. And every time I said something that was wanted to say in the show, they just got them to text me what I just said. So that's how you write comedy, folks. Look out for my Comedians podcast.
With Stuart Goldhatch.
Hatch.
Yeah, because he pops his head out the hatch and says, "Hello, welcome to the comedy podcast.
Hello, my name's Stuart Goldsmith. Are you happy?"
He's kind of like the Pennywise of the comedy scene, in that he sneaks his head up from a storm drain and goes, "You want to see some balloons?" But the balloons are questions about your craft.
What a fantastic
And while you're
analogy.
talking to him, he steals all your data. Bad guy. He's a bad guy, is Goldsmith. Don't trust him.
Oh dear. But yeah, so basically I'm doing the real comedy thing. When I get really busy, I'm like, I'm being a real comedian. So I did like 2 previews and a headline spot over the weekend, loads of driving, and as a result, this particular episode of Is This Enough is fucked.
It's kind of cursed. That's fine, because we're recording a second one in a bit.
God.
That's just going to be a series of shallow screams.
Yes, it is. Check out in the past our live stream to launch the podcast. That's right. We've done it in a weird order. Anyway, I think I'm done telling you how
I think it's only fair to give you 10 points. So well done, David. You're on 10 points.
Okay.
No, you're not on 10 points. You're on 84.8 points.
Round 7.
Round 7 is called Is This Smaller or Bigger Than My Nuts? Question number 1. Your nuts.
Yes.
No, of course. That's a fake round. This round number 7, is called Take a Sad Song and Make It Sadder. Take a sad song and make it sadder. James, I would like you to make me a sad song using these words: honk, baffle, sweet corn, and crabs. You've got to include those 4 words in a short, sad song. This is worth 4 million points. You will be judged on style, control, damage, and aggression.
Sweet corn. Honk, baffle, sweet corn, and what?
Crabs.
Crabs.
Please, could you sing me a sad song using those 4 words?
Okay, David. Hold on to your nuts, which may or may not be bigger than my nuts. Oh, the goose of sadness, you've honked your last as I swing into the sea. The smile on your face, it turns to disgrace as you baffle me. You did not enjoy my sweet corn fritters. Now I can only play minus chords on guitars. Oh, how I love you, Babs, but our love is dead and being nibbled by crabs. Are you not entertained?
I am so sad right now. Okay, let's judge that on style, control, damage, and aggression. Style, perfect. Nailed it straight away. No pausing, no altering. Fantastic. Control, you had me at every single word. You had me at every single syllable. So good. Damage, I feel damaged emotionally because of how sad that song was. And aggression is pretty good. I'm going to give you 4 million points, James O'Donoghue.
Wow! 4 million points. Jeez Louise. I hope I've got enough bread for these birds.
Over to you for the final round, James.
Round 8.
Well, David, as typical, I'm going to have to leave you alone in this digital room with a very, very special guest. This one, we've gone over budget. David, we need to discuss the finances of the podcast because, David, I'm very excited to announce, please be upstanding for His Royal Highness King Charles III. Hello,
Hi, Charles.
I'm King Charles, or as my friends call me, King Charles III. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much, King Charles. How are you? You've had a very busy weekend. You must be knackered.
Oh boy, what a week it's been. and what do you do?
I'm a podcaster. What do you do?
What the fuck is that? I think we found the one job more pointless than mine. And how are your stools?
They're better than my friend James's, because...
I hear he's a sloppy boy. Heard that one from the Swans. Now, David, I've just had a banging weekend, and that with all my friends, including, take that, Lionel Richie, Katy Perry, Paloma Faith, Ollie Murs, classic soul composer Alexis French, pianist Lang Lang and Nicole Scherzinger, Bette Midler, Tiwa Savage, Steve Winwood, Pete Tong, the Coronation Choir, Tom Cruise, and Winnie the Pooh. I've got a banging headache because of all the banging fun I've had. I need all the painkillers that I could get. But David, here's my question to you. What painkiller is my favourite? And before you say it's opium, I don't use that as a painkiller. If you get this correct, you get a knighthood, as well as 220 points. I was told that would be quite a lot of points for this show, but you have put in millions, so you really hit the inflation market there, you little cunt.
Okay, so can I ask some questions?
Oh, David, of course.
Okay, how long has the headache lasted for?
Oh, well, it started, basically, when I found out that Robbie Williams wasn't going to be performing.
Did you prefer
I
the
never
Robbie Williams
forgot where
era?
he was coming from. Listen, David.
David. I preferred Robbie Williams when he was letting him entertain me.
Fair, absolutely fair. Well, okay, so you got the headache from not seeing Robbie Williams, which sounds like an emotional headache rather than physical trauma. Have you been hydrating?
I have a simple phrase, David. Hydrate or die, mate.
That's quite
You
aggressive.
know what I mean?
That's quite aggressive for a head of state. I've got one more question for you. Do you have a Boots loyalty card?
Well, no. I have a Boots royalty card. Very funny there. It's a little chucky joke there for everyone listening at home.
I am going to prescribe you cocodamol because it's effective, it's fast working, and I think it will make life better for you.
Is it good for the throats of actors that might have just said yes to an audition and then realise that that's tomorrow and they've discovered a very silly voice for a character to do on a podcast? Asking for a friend.
No, you want something like a Jakeman's lozenge.
Lozenge. Jakeman's lozenge. That's what they say. Oh, I'm very sorry, David. But the correct answer is that I, like a little lie down, a hot water bottle, and the blood of the Saxon hordes whose vengeful spirits blight the lands of Windsor to this day, and I, as protector appointed by God of the realm, must face them down, safe in the knowledge that the Lord will guide my hand, as well as 2 paracetamol from Boots.
Well, you can use your royalty card.
Royalty card.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry I didn't get your question right, but it was lovely to see you, King Charles. Have
David,
a lovely rest and enjoy your paracetamol.
Mr. David Hoare, you still get the knighthood.
Fuck yeah, Sir David Hoare. Let's do it.
Sir David Hoare of Shittlesburg, UK. Ha! Just kidding. You don't get shit, you little cunt.
A
bye,
swan
King Charles.
a swan just swooped down and he picked him up by his shoulders.
That's a strong swan.
That's a very weak man. Let's get arrested, David.
Do. Come on and get arrested. This stream is not sponsored by Boots or Jakeman's. At the end of that,
it is sponsored.
James...
It's sponsored by Graham Smith, the CEO of Republic.com.
Oh, no, I don't want that as a sponsorship. We should talk before we take sponsorships, I reckon.
We should.
Is that different to OneRepublic.com, which is just the website to the band One Republic?
No, it's actually the official website for the Banana Republic clothing brand. Was that a clothing brand? That seems
it is. It's right next to Knights of the Old Banana Republic. Should we round off this bullshit episode?
Well, it's good to know where the floor is.
James, at the end of this week's quiz, you have 4,062 points, and I have 84.8 points, and no knighthood, which means that you win 1,000 delivery pigeons.
Yes! Yes! Finally, I'll get my quibbies.
What's your avian maintenance like?
Well, I've got a lot of space for them to fly around in. It's called the sky.
Fair enough. Do you have anywhere to store some wasps? Because I live in a 4th-story flat and we can't even get a dog. I don't know if we can have 1,000 wasps.
How thick are your doors? Have you got the cheap landlord special doors that are just basically a honeycomb pattern made of cardboard? Because they're probably fine in that.
Fairly thick doors.
Thick doors for David Hoare's.
Please, if you're enjoying the podcast, give us a review and don't forget to follow the podcast on whichever platform you're listening to it on. Please follow at Is This Enough Pod on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. And please send in your scores and your answers to the audience round to isthisenoughpodcasting@gmail.com. James, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me online if you want. I am at J O'Donoghue 94 on Insta, James OD 1994 on Twitter, and you can follow my much neglected TikTok where I am Let the James Begin. I am planning on renaming all of my socials into that because I think that's better, and no cunt knows how to spell O'Donoghue.
True. You can find me at David Hoare on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. I stream from Mondays to Fridays from 10:30 a.m. You can also find me on YouTube by searching for David Hoare, Hoare. James, do you have an audience round for us?
Audience round.
Well, boy, I've got a very nice and lovely one. So, the audience round from last week, of course, on my running playlist is, I asked you whether you think I've got Bad Romance, We Appreciate Power by Grimes, or the Gilbert and Sullivan medley from The Simpsons, as sung by Sideshow Bob, played by Kelsey Grammer, of course. Of course, on my running playlist is We Appreciate Power by Grimes, because one day I hope that I can run as fast as Grimes travels down in my estimations daily. Imagine being married to the richest man in the world and producing albums and songs that are just fine. Imagine having access to all the resources in the planet and you make something and everyone's like, oh, yeah. So well done.
I still think
to...
Oblivion's a great song, but carry on.
But it's not like the most expensive song ever made.
I don't think money equals goodness, James. I thought you were a communist.
Well, I was talking to Nish about
I'm going to
this.
tell Nish about this.
No, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
What's the audience round, James?
The audience is a simple game of true or false. I broke my nose at a theatre because fake blood made me feel all wobbly. Is that true? Or is that false?
Oh. Find out next time on Is This Enough?
So email in, look at my social media, assess how wonky my nose is, and then assess if that might not just be a bit of anti-Semitism on your behalf.
Fucking hell. But I don't think the stakes have ever been higher.
Yep. Make your choice well, because if not, you're fucking cancelled, mate.
Thank you for watching Is This Enough? Try not to get cancelled. We'll see you next time. Goodbye!
Or as we say in the industry, goodbye, ga.
Bob Iger, everybody.
Bob Iger.